Oh,
Hi.
Hi. Jeff and I are working out the system of bringing people back together. And hi, Corey Rose, there you are. So Jeff, are they all muted now as they come back? Okay.
yeah, they should all be back in about 15 seconds. The system's populating them back in.
Yeah. So we'll have a better sense when everyone's back in because we'll be able to see them.
Yeah, they'll be in a second.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just disappointed that I wasn't able to.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey. Hi,
Wow.
everybody.
Like the time
So-
tunnel. Whoa, where did I go?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay. I see you, Lisa. I don't see.
All right. Hi, everybody. I believe that was quite an abrupt shift from being in your small groups to coming back to the full group. And I'm regretting if it was abrupt in a way that was disruptive for you or for the process that was unfolding in your group. Jeff and I are still learning the ins and outs of using Zoom, and I really like it. And there's some fine tuning that we're working on. So I appreciate you going with the flow. And if you're not going with the flow, I'm giving you some empathy about that. Because I know it's challenging. All right. So
you know what? Can I
say,
I just wanted to let you know that there was a little warning letting us know that we would be pulled back into the group automatically at the time up.
Great. So we learned that ourselves. And for those on the phone, they didn't see that chat. It went as a chat. So people on video who happened to be looking at their chat could see it. So thanks, Sue, for that. It feels reassuring to hear, that some of you had a warning about it. Okay, so we have a few minutes left, and I'd love to harvest and hear from a few of you of how this practice was for you and where the challenges were, what was difficult, and also if there was some fun and something juicy in learning about it. So raise your hand or press *9, and we'll do a little sharing before we close. And it'd be fun to hear from people I haven't heard from yet. Carolyn, I see your hand up. And you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I felt that I was talking more from my heart than from my head.
Wow.
And that was good.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking through the feelings, needs thing.
Yeah. So you sort of dropped down into a heart space, and that left you feeling more connected?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just really celebrating that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. How about other people? Kira, you're unmuted.
So in our group, we were just noticing, and the example we had was in like a work environment, and we were noticing the challenge that there can be to make sure that we've really done our own work before we re-enter that connection with the person, and how that can be difficult because say there's this encounter today and now you're showing up tomorrow and something needs to have happened in relation to what it was that happened the day prior. And maybe that one night, like maybe you didn't come up with your wisest way of re-engaging with that in that period of time, and maybe you still have these unresolved things which can make the language just difficult because there may be a charge on both ends, and so you're still like walking into an environment where there's a lot of charge, and that can be a challenge with using this language naturally. And so the script is nice because at least if you do a little bit of rehearsing or whatnot, you can try to keep yourself on track and not let your jackal have you making the situation worse. But that there are just some inherent challenges with the timing of how interactions actually unfold in real life.
Yeah, you're really talking about in real life stuff happens, and we don't always control the time, and we don't always have as much choice as we might really like. So I would go back again to the meta message of, oh man, this is really charged for me still. This is internal. This has a lot of charge for me. And if it has charge for me, I wonder if it has charge for the other person or other people. I don't really know. I'm going to take a chance. So then when I'm ready to engage again, I might start by saying, I'm feeling like there's this little edgy thing going on. There's a charge here, and I really want to acknowledge that so that when we talk, we can connect in some way, even though it's unfinished, right? Whatever language it is, however you decide to do it, naming that there's a charge, naming that it's still edgy, helps everyone have some shared reality about it. Yeah. So that's just a strategy. And I'm totally getting that. Yeah, real life is different than workshop for sure. So we practice as much as we can so that we got this muscle. It's like working out a muscle so that in everyday life, we're more able to drop into that space. Yeah. I think we have time for one more comment before we close. Anyone else want to say something briefly to share? Paolo, excuse me. Go ahead. You're unmuted, Paolo.
Sure. Appreciate the team sharing in our little breakout session. I was feeling, and it was coming up for me around, because there's a family situation, communication, a tough family situation that they were trying to communicate, and I was just recalling, gee, I've been there, and it's so much more difficult, I find, when you're engaging with family, because they're family, and they're not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere, so you have to kind of change the tone and approach.
It's true.
It's much easier for me, at least, to just discount family and not have to be as kind, empathic, etc., because they're not going anywhere.
Interesting. Yeah, that this quality of that sometimes we treat family in a way we wouldn't treat other people.
Right.
I like to say that it's really easy to practice non-attachment when we don't care about the outcome. It's a similar kind of thing. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Paolo. Our time is up. I appreciate so much everyone being on the call and showing up in this way. I'm really grateful to Jeff for collaborating with me on this call. Jeff, I'd like to ask if you can unmute everyone, and if you've muted yourself, unmute yourself so people can say goodbye to each other.
The roads are very slippery.
Goodbye.
Okay, all right. So,
Bye.
everyone,
Bye.
thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Lisa.
My pleasure.
Thank.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
It's great. Thank you.